So we're here with Erik Samuelson, CEO at AFC Wimbledon. Erik, thank you so much for inviting us actually into your home today to have a nice informal chat. So
you're welcome.
Obviously you've had a very exciting couple of months, obviously with the planning permission all approved now, signed and sealed for the new stadium.
Yes, we got permission and all the final legal hurdles were cleared a couple of months ago. So now demolition and clearance of the site has started with the aim that we will start building at the end of the autumn, early winter 2018, start building our new stadium.
Fabulous. And then when will the new, so you said the new stadium's going to be sort of 9,000 to 10,000, but then obviously you've actually got planning permission for a 20,000 seat stadium.
Yes.
For once you
we will be building it with all the infrastructure for 20,000 capacity because it would be too expensive to retrofit that later. Mm-hmm. But what we don't want is, if you watch on television quite often, you'll see a fair number of stadiums built for 20,000 and half empty. Yes. We don't want that. Yeah. We want it to feel full and feel, to be honest, quite intimidating that the place is full and people are quite close to the pitch. So we'll start at between 9 and 10. I hope that's not enough and we can expand quickly, but we'll see. We just want to make it like a tight, close atmosphere.
Yeah, and obviously you recently launched the request for proposals for the IT infrastructure.
We did.
And you have plans, obviously aspirations for it to be a smart stadium. So sort of what kinds of fan experience are you hoping to deliver? We don't expect to be leading edge. I think we have to cut our cloth to match our finances, but it will have all the features that you expect from a modern stadium. So for example, it'll be almost cash free. Mm-hmm. You probably enter the use of a card which will allow you to buy various facilities within the stadium, those sorts of things. We will have Wi-Fi available throughout the stadium, but not in the bowl. Right. Partly because it's so expensive to do, and partly because you're there to watch football, not read your phone. Yes. It's a bit like the people who film rock gigs. Why are you doing that? You're here to listen to it, and so you should. You're there to watch the game. So we don't want to do that, and we're not even sure it's economic. So, but in other respects, it'll be modern, but not leading edge. Yes. So it'll be an exciting few months. So I suppose there'll be more tenders coming out as we go along. Once the sort of the IT infrastructure one, you get closer and closer, there'll be more and more. Yeah,
the way we're doing it is we wanted to be confident that we were able to afford the stadium. So we're doing a two-phase tender for the construction itself. The first phase, we appointed one of 3 people who competed for it, a company called Andrew Scott Limited. Mm-hmm. And now we're going through phase 2, which is to do the detailed design. I mean, exactly what shape will the seats be, where will the dressing rooms be, all that sort of stuff. That will lead to a detailed tender, which is about to go out in the next 2 or 3 weeks for the majority of the stadium. And then there's the FF&E, the fixtures fitting the pitch, to be tendered. That'll be later still. So you're right, there's several tenders, but the big one for the building of the stadium itself is imminent.
Right, okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that one. And then finally, obviously something that's been incredibly topical of late was, obviously UK Sports Minister Tracy Crouch obviously rejected West Bromwich Albion's rail seating plans, and obviously her claim was that it was only a vocal minority of fans that wanted safe standing. Obviously now there's this petition that I think the last time I looked yesterday it was already well over 60,000, so very, very close to the 100,000.
It needs to be 100 to be raised in Parliament, I think. I mean, my own view, I was brought up watching football from behind the goal standing, and that's the way I enjoy watching football. Even now, even as a director, whenever I could, I used to go and stand behind the goal because, to be honest, it isn't a good view, but it's a much better atmosphere. For me, the real issue, there's 2 things. First of all, there's the general issue that if you go to any game, like the cup final I went to 2 or 3 years ago, almost the entire of the crowd behind the goal stands throughout the entire game. And if there's a goal, and they crush and rush, you're far more likely to be injured standing in seats than you are in real seating. And I cannot understand how anybody could argue otherwise. Indeed, the professional bodies and advisory bodies say real seating is safer. Secondly, from our point of view, we have about £750,000 worth of grants on our current stadium, which are nominally transferable to the new stadium, but not if we don't make it all-seater. So we have to make it all-seater. We want a terrace,
yes,
but it will cost us £750,000 for the privilege before we even start to build the terrace. So what we'll probably do is we'll build one stand in such a way that we can convert it later,
yes,
when I think realism dawns,
yes,
and we can convert to a terrace. But actually it's up to the members who own the club to decide. That's just my personal view.
Yeah. Okay, well, we shall look forward to following AFC Wimbledon's story. And I should mention, people will soon be able to actually watch it for themselves, because you mentioned there's going to be a film coming out too.
Yes, Fox Pictures have produced a script. I understand they're on the verge of appointing a director with a view to making a film taking us from our genesis, the reformation of Wimbledon, for Wimbledon Club for Wimbledon in 2002, up to the time when we got back into the Football League, which is where we felt we belonged. It's quite a strange feeling, really, to be thinking you're going to be the subject of such a film, or one of the subjects. But and it may well be, given the time that it takes to produce a film, it'll be coming out about the same time as we open the stadium, and that would be perfect.
That would be perfect, a lovely tie-in.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we wish you every luck.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to seeing not only the new stadium, but the movie as well.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, thanks so much, Erik.